everyone. So I thought today I would talk to you about my journey as a book writer. So this is my first book which I'm writing now, and there's been a couple of, the first version was basically I had to scrap it because of the fact that, I had someone who I thought was my best friend over in the US who, he was supposed to be a Top Gun author and was supposed to have really good contacts with the publishing world and also with people who could do the editing and my website and that sort of thing. And so, I really trusted him, and he went fishing for all the information that he needed to help me with my book. He was also going to ghostwrite my book. And, we spent hours and hours and hours every night on Zoom, talking about my book, talking about my life, because my book is about my life and my system that I've put together, and talking about my views on things. And they were recorded and that sort of thing, and it was all good and well. And I put a rough draft together. He rushed me. When I told him I had a rough draft which I'd written out in hand, he rushed me. And he basically said, look, I have people interested in editing it over here right now. Can you send the manuscript over now? I will scan it and I will send it back to you. And I will get them onto it. And by the way, the editing, the website, also someone to type it out, cost me over 11 grand. And I trusted him because, we'd grown really close and we were pretty much best friends, talking every day and everything else. And I learnt the hard way. I really did learn the hard way that he wasn't my best friend at all. What he was doing was he was scamming me and making sure that I could not get any of my money back by dragging out the time. Every time I asked him for, a typed out draft of, each chapter, he'd always push it off. He'd always say, oh, but the typist is sick, or, oh, but the typist is, on holidays, or, oh, but the typist has COVID. And when I asked him for the check buds and the receipts, because he said that he had paid her, he couldn't provide them. And, that went on for months and months and months and months and months, right? And in the end, I got jack of it, and I said to him, look, you either show me the typed up manuscript that's edited, because you've paid the editor and you've also supposedly paid the typist, or you send me my manuscript back and you send me my money back. And all of a sudden I got nothing. I got silence. And so he had a couple of different email addresses. I emailed those different email addresses. I sent him WhatsApp messages, tried to ring him, tried to text him, tried to message him on Facebook, and I got nothing. I was completely ghosted. And because we had grown, to me, we had grown so close, it was heartbreaking for me, there are people out there like that. Like, seriously, you have to be so careful these days, especially when you, tell people that you're writing a book, because all of a sudden they're jumping on the bandwagon saying, oh, I know this person who can do this, and I know that person who can do that, and I know this person who can do this for you, or I can ghostwrite it for you. Through experience, don't go down that track. Always go through people who are recommended and known if you're going to, you know, get people to help you out with your book, especially with the editing and with building a website and that sort of stuff. I ended up getting someone over here in my own country to put my website together, even though my so-called best friend in the USA had already paid for my website to be put together by one of his so-called mates who could do it, and then his mate said that he couldn't do it and he was refusing to give me my money back. Now, because, you know, they're over in the US, I couldn't do a thing. You know, I couldn't pursue any legal action. I couldn't demand that they send me my written manuscript back. I couldn't even get a refund, because what I've been saying all along in my articles is that you know, if you are going to pay people to do things for you that you don't know that well, including businesses, do it via Visa, do it via PayPal, but never, ever, ever do it by direct debit or, you know, direct transfer. And I had paid him through direct transfer, which meant after 1 to 2 days, you can't get your money back from that, because the risk is all on you, you know, and the bank won't be able to, you know, get it back for you. So that was a massive lesson for me, and I was heartbroken and so angry at myself for actually having fallen for that. You know, I had never come across people like that before, you know, people who, you know, pretend to be friends with you and get really close to you just so that they can get money from you and your IP from you. I've never ever come across that sort of thing before, and so that was a big, massive lesson for me. And for months after that, I couldn't even look at trying to put my book together. All I could see was how stupid, how silly I was for falling for that, you know. And all I could think about was, you know, all of the time and effort over the past year that I had spent talking to him about my book, my life, you know, and putting all of that IP together, only to have it go down the toilet. I recently, I think about 3 months ago, started my book again, and it was really hard for me to start back up again. So I got a coach to help coach me through it, and she's really good and really understanding. And so now I'm actually in the final stages of putting my the last chapters together. One of those chapters is one of the pillars of my book. And it's really exciting, and I have a couple of editors now, you know, sending me through rough drafts as to, you know, what they can do in sample format for me for my book. And I'm really hoping that once I choose an editor, that I can get my book out and published before Christmas. That's my goal anyway. I just hope that the editing and the publishing doesn't take too long. Anyway, so that was my story, and I really, really had to, you know, arc up the courage, and I had to get over my fear of, you know, writing again after that, because that really just stung me so badly. Yeah, so if you've had an experience like this, I'd really like to hear about it. Just drop a comment below. All right. Have an awesome day. Okay, bye.